Yo, what's up guys? It's Jack and welcome back to another video, and I'm not going to beat around the bush on this subject. There is absolutely no doubt that our beloved franchise, the Call of Duty franchise, is basically at a very rough time right now. These are basically the dark times for Call of Duty. And I think in the minds of many, in terms of what the main Call of Duty game is as of right now, is no doubt it's Black Ops 3. It's the most recent one to come out, and more people enjoy that game than Modern Warfare Remastered, as well as the amount of people playing it, as more than Modern Warfare Remastered and Infinite Warfare, and possibly maybe even combined as well. And there's a lot of people that haven't made all the way to level 1000 in Prestige, myself being one of them as well. Big reason for that is because I play TDM and free-for-all. Chasing that damn 70 kill challenge for TDM is still very appealing to me, but beyond that, the game is just a lot more fun. It's a lot more balanced. I mean, this video is not going to be talking about how good Black Ops 3 is and how bad Infinite Warfare is and how Modern Warfare Remastered is so non-balanced or whatnot. No, it's not what it's going to be about. This video is basically going to be about, well, what is it going to take to save this beloved franchise? Or what is it going to take for us to go back to where we used to be? And the question is, should we go back to the way we used to be, or should we let this thing die out and start all over again? Or, you know, because if this thing dies out, Activision's probably going to want to sell it to whoever wants to buy it or whatnot, so that way they can get one last profit out of it if they can. And then that other person is going to basically start it over from the beginning and reboot it, or do you guys think that basically, do you think these remastered games that they will come out with in the future, as well as us going back to boots on the ground, I mean, do you think that's going to be enough to save the franchise? I mean, I personally think that it may very well be, but at the same time, I know that we don't live in a perfect world, and especially when it comes to the Call of Duty world, anything can literally happen. And for instance, I wasn't waiting for Infinite Warfare to tank as badly as it did, and in theory, and I've explained this in a previous video, it didn't seem like it would be likely so because of the 3-year development cycle and the lessons that Infinity Ward supposedly should have learned or had learned from the previous 2 iterations and everything. But apparently it didn't work out like that, and you know, and if there's anything that they can say to make it a valid excuse, is that they have a very small team in comparison to Sledgehammer and Treyarch. But the thing is, we've got hopefully backwards compatibility coming for the rest of the games up to Black Ops 2, as well as remastered games coming out soon. So are those things going to be enough to keep this franchise alive? And where do you guys stand on this? Do you guys think that Call of Duty should finally die out and we should just move on to something else, or do you think the franchise should just be rebooted, or where do you guys stand? And are you guys happy with the games, all the games up through Black Ops 2 becoming backwards compatible as well as remastered? Now obviously it's been stated before, and my best friend, as I've mentioned before, has made me aware of this as well, and he's absolutely right. And when you remaster a game, it's not going to play exactly like the original did, which is where I kind of think that backwards compatibility is kind of unique, because it gives you, because the game won't feel any different, it's just playable on the current console. And the remastered version can give you the same but yet different feel, because it will be the same game, but at the same time it'll be a different feel as well, because it's remastered and it won't play exactly the same, but it will have the same rules and settings and that the game that you originally played had, and along with the nostalgia factor. So do you guys think that the nostalgia factor will be enough to keep this franchise going, or at least to get us a few feet in the right direction? And because let's face it, I mean, sometimes I tend to think a lot about this, and the thing is, well, since I've mentioned previously, and obviously I don't need to mention it for us to know this, but we don't live in a perfect world, and we all know that the Call of Duty world sure isn't perfect either. But what if, and I hate to say this because I'm always And I'm sorry about the choppy gameplay, by the way. It only did this for a few minutes or a few seconds at the most, and then it goes back to normal. But sometimes this creepy question just comes up in my head, and that is, what if what if Sledgehammer fucks up? And I hate to say it, I really do. What if Sledgehammer fucks up? What if they don't make a boots on the ground Call of Duty? What if it was too late in the development cycle to change that, and we have to go back to exosuits, to which most of the community doesn't want? Now, me personally, if I had to choose boots on the ground or exosuits, yeah, I would probably choose boots on the ground. But I personally love fast-paced first-person shooters, which is what drew me into Call of Duty in the first place. But there's fast-paced and then there's chaos. Now, if it's done right, I think more of the community will like it, but we want a boots-on-the-ground Call of Duty, and I personally think that it would be an absolute killing blow. It would be the killing blow to the franchise if the next iteration that Sledgehammer is going to make will, if you have exosuits in there, I think that's basically going to kill it. And if that does happen, and whether or not that does happen, will the older Call of Duties, the remasters, and the backwards compatibility, and that should be coming up in the future hopefully, will all that be enough to keep us going? Because yes, we can only play the same game so many times, but at the same time, if the game is that good, then we don't mind. Like, for instance, in Black Ops 2, I love Black Ops 2 so much that I have like 45 or so games played. 45 days played in that game. And granted, that's in a, I don't know, 2.5, 3 year span, but still, that's still quite a lot of time played. And I've seen people in the leaderboards that have put in a crap load more time than I did, and I can safely say that I played the hell out of that game. So, and in this game here, I'm approaching 22 days, I believe it is, give or take. So, so where do you guys stand on this? And where do you guys think that we're headed? Do you think we're headed for doom, or do you guys think that if Sledgehammer plays their cards right and gives us that boots on the ground Call of Duty and does it correctly the way we've been hoping for, do you think that's going to be able to save us? And then obviously after that, we're going to have Treyarch again, and we're going to get a double dose of good games. And then if the remasters are good as well, as long as, you know, is that going to be enough? You know, because I find myself playing the older Call of Duty games, it's like fine, but, you know, I'm constantly switching, because after I play one, then I'll get bored of it, and then I'll go back and play the other one until I get bored of that, and I just keep on going back and forth. So the creepy question sometimes that pops up is, like, how often am I going to keep switching CODs until I get absolutely bored? And are the new ones going to be good enough to keep me interested? Because as you guys know, even if we do go, let's say we do go back to boots on the ground, which is the fair prediction, and seems like they're definitely going to do it, and I hope they do. Let's say we go back to boots on the ground. It doesn't necessarily mean that we are going to get that Call of Duty that we wanted. I mean, let's not forget, Call of Duty Ghosts was a boots on the ground Call of Duty, and most of the community didn't really appreciate that game either, and rightfully so. So I just want to know your opinions and what can be done, if anything, to put this franchise in the right direction again and bring us back to the old glory days. And, or should I say new glory days, because we can never relive the old glory days anymore. So, or do you guys believe that Call of Duty should just die and then in the future get rebooted by somebody else that takes up the mantle? So what do you guys think? So that's all I got for this one, guys. I'm sorry for the brief choppiness in the video in certain points, but sometimes my Elgato does that. I don't know why, but nonetheless, I wanted to get that. I wanted to get my thoughts out of this one and into this video and just discuss this, because I love the franchise. I'd love to see it continue to move forward, but I want it to continue to move forward in the right way and not the wrong way. At least I want it to be at least something that is passable. I don't want to see this franchise get destroyed, and at least not like this. So, but at the same time, if that's what needs to happen, then I guess so be it. I guess nothing does last forever. So where do you guys stand on this? What do you think can be done, if anything? And what are your opinions? Let it be known down in the comment section below. And of course, you can always tweet at me, as you can see right up here on the screen. And that's pretty much it. And I hope you guys enjoyed the gameplay. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. If you liked the video, let me know. And if you don't, let me know what I can do to make my videos better. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.